Hello, BCA community. Welcome to Radical Disruption and Compassionate Resistance, Breast Cancer Actions Fall Fundraiser, and a time for us to take action together. Welcome, everyone. My name is Heather Perkins. I am your new Deputy Director with BCA Action. And on behalf of our Executive Director, Dr. Crystal Redmond, our entire BCA staff team and Board of Directors, we want to welcome you, our community of activists who carry our mission and work forward with conviction, integrity, and determination. Our 32-year mission continues because of your care and your action. Thank you again, and welcome to this year's virtual event. As you know, tonight's fundraiser supports BCA Action's work to achieve health justice for all people at risk of and living with breast cancer. Tonight, we gather together to celebrate, learn, grow, and take collective action to address and end breast cancer. Welcome, and thank you for joining us tonight. While people are starting to join with us and join in, I want to remind you of our exciting silent auction. It's happening now. People are already bidding. So please bid now and bid often on more than 55 items and experiences, such as a 12-month subscription to a Book of the Month Club, gift cards, self-care items, home good accessories, tickets to live events, a weekend in wine country, and much, much more. As you know, 100% of proceeds from tonight's event promotes our critical work to address and end breast cancer. To bid, please click on Bid Now button at the top of your screen, and you will be led to the auction site. After you register and start bidding, the rest happens through the magic of text messaging. Please know our auction remains open after tonight's event, so please check your text messages for updates on your bid items and encourage other folks to bid and bid often until the auction closes on Tuesday, October 25th. And again, every bid supports our BCA Action mission. So get bidding and start enjoying the experience. Please, at this time, know too, we want to thank our sponsors. Sponsor level support from tonight's event helps BCA Action welcome more people to participate not only in tonight's event, but also to continue to engage with our critical work throughout the entire year. Thank you to our campaign level sponsors, the Hasse family, Karen Klein and Ben Glovin, Mechanics Bank. And at our protester sponsor level, we want to give thanks to Marge Plum and Tracy Wees. Thank you again to our event sponsors. We so appreciate your continued and unyielding support. And also at this time, we want to thank all of you, our BCA community. Because of your connections and actions with BCA Action, our mission continues forward. And tonight is about celebrating you, our activists, celebrating our history, celebrating our present, celebrating our vision, and our future collective action we will continue to do together to, again, address and stop and end breast cancer. Tonight, during this critical October Industry Action Month, it is our time together to engage with each other, reflect, learn, grow, and continue to act together. We have a lot planned for you in this hour, but first and most important to us is you. Your engagement and interactions are most important. So please join in often and raise your voice with your BC Action fellow community. Join the chat, and to do that, start joining now. I can see some fabulous welcomes over here in our chat box already. We say thank you to our sponsors from our executive director. We say hello, Breast Cancer Community Action from Laura, our current board chair. I see people connecting from Chicago, LA. Wow, it's so fantastic to know that we are here gathered in this virtual space. So again, if you haven't already joined the chat, You can do so now by minimizing your video window on your event page. Look to the right of the live stream in the white box, enter your name, click and check box, and then hit join. Then please be sure to say hello and tell us where you are turning into from tonight. So let's see. This is so exciting. We have so many people joining us. I see more and more people coming in. Welcome, everyone. This is fantastic. Again, your voice matters most, and we want you to be a part of this conversation tonight and join in about our unstoppable 2022 Think Before You Pink, a revolution, evolution. Throughout tonight's Community Connector, we will continue taking collective action on our Think Before You Pink campaign, and we want to know how you are participating and taking action. Your story is important to us, so share it tonight in the chat. Tell your shared experience, and we can discover and learn together. This is why Breast Cancer Action's remains radical and relevant and transformative. So please, we encourage you to share your story. Drop it right there in the chat, and I will lift it up to your fellow community. Oh, we see hello from one of tonight's sponsor levels, Marge Plum. She's coming in from Washington, D.C. This is fantastic. I see hello from Arizona. I see hello from Madison, Wisconsin. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining in tonight. This is so inspiring. You continue to motivate me. Thank you. Now, to kick off tonight's program, please help me welcome our very own Heather Stone, Development Manager for BCA Action.
Thank you so much, Heather, and thank you all for being here. I'm so excited to introduce the video, Breast Cancer Action Over Breast Cancer Awareness by Instagram influencer and educator Blair Amani. We were lucky enough to work with Blair and her team ahead of this October and to collaborate on this powerful piece calling out pink ribbon marketing, or as Blair calls it, pink capitalism, and how you can think before you pink. Let me tell you about Blair. Blair Amani, she, her, is the creator of the viral web series, Smarter in Seconds. She's the LA Times bestselling author of Read This to Get Smarter and head of education at Feminists for All. She's also the author of Making Our Way Home and Modern Her Story. Her scholarship spans intersectionality, gender studies, race and racism, sociology, and United States history. As a public speaker, Blair has presented at universities including Oxford and Harvard. She serves on the board of directors for the Tegan and Sarah Foundation, and the New York Times praises Blair's unique ability to create progressive lessons with vibrant visuals and perky, quirky delivery. Her work centers on women and girls, global Black communities, and the LGBTQ+ community. As an educator, influencer, and semi-retired organizer, Blair is dedicated to making the world a less terrible place and amplifying the voices and work of those fighting the good fight. We'll turn now to this immensely popular Instagram reel, which has over 500,000 views and is rapidly spreading the word on why awareness is not enough and what you can do to scope out pink ribbon products. Thank you.
Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And what are you doing for the cause? I'm wearing all pink and making people aware of breast cancer. Are you advocating for policy change to prevent breast cancer in the first place or raising funds for research? No, but I'm buying a pair of pink heels right now and 1% goes to the cause. Since 1985, October has been Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the USA. Since all human beings have breast tissue, all human beings should be aware of breast cancer, take steps to perform self-exams, and schedule mammograms per your doctor's advice. In 2002, Breast Cancer Action launched the campaign Think Before You Pink to combat corporations using pink merchandise to claim to care about breast cancer, while simultaneously manufacturing, selling, and producing products that contain chemicals linked to the disease. Corporate lies! Say it ain't so! Yeah, unfortunately companies can bank on people wanting to look like they care instead of actually taking action. So no more pink? Just pink responsibly. Before buying a product just because it has a pink ribbon on it, think before you pink and find out how much, if any, of the money goes towards breast cancer research programs, which programs are getting the money and what they do to stop breast cancer, if there is a limit on the amount that will be donated by purchasing a product, and if that donation has already been met, and does the product put you or someone else at risk of toxins linked to breast cancer? If you can't find the answer to any of those questions, maybe skip the purchase and just support organizations and programs that you vetted and researched directly.
Smarter in seconds.
Wow. Thank you, Blair. On behalf of our VC Action community and our staff team, we want to thank Blair Amani for helping us reach people through her more than 650,000 Instagram followers. Blair graciously donated her time and talent to help us scale our critical work and mission. So we just want to say thank you to Blair. If you don't already follow her on Instagram, we encourage you to do so, as she's been a huge supporter for our mission and our community of activists. Now it is my privilege to introduce our featured speaker. She inspires me, and we are thankful she is here tonight with all of us. Tiah Tomlin-Harris, CEO, advocate, author, coach. Following a diagnosis of an aggressive form of breast cancer, or cancer, as she calls it, Tiah vowed to God that if she made it through breast cancer, she would help as many women as she could fight and survive, particularly Black women who are disproportionately impacted by this terrible disease. Tiah believed that no sister should walk this journey alone and founded the My Breast Years Ahead Sisterhood, a sisterhood of women survivors. She also founded My Style Matters Incorporated, a nonprofit organization that provides support, resources, education, as well as healthy lifestyle experiences to cancer patients and their loved ones. Tiah is an activist, an advocate, a cancer coach, a breast health educator, a consultant, and a project lead graduate of the National Breast Cancer Coalition. She developed Breast Health Matters, an empowerment and educational platform for teen girls and women, who serves as the program manager for the Knowledge is Power Symposium that focuses on Black women diagnosed with breast cancer. Tiah has advocated for survivors on Capitol Hill, is a community advisor board member with the Bench to Community Initiative, serves as a board member and advisory board member for several pharmaceutical companies and organizations. Tiah published a research paper on clinical trials on metastatic breast cancer, has spoken on numerous talk shows and panels, including Tavis Smiley Talk Radio, American Society for Clinical Oncology, American Association for Cancer Research, and the Congressional Briefing with Breast Cancer Prevention Partners. Tiah's thoughtful contributions and unyielding work initiatives within the breast cancer space has earned her multiple recognitions and awards, including President Bush's Point of Lights Award. Tiah is educating, motivating, and activating people to move from awareness to taking action. Please help me welcome Tiah Tomlin-Harris.
Hello, everyone, and good evening. Good evening. Thank you so much for inviting me to join you all tonight. As mentioned, my name is Tiah Tomlin-Harris, and I was diagnosed at a young age with an aggressive form of breast cancer called triple negative. And while I didn't know much about breast cancer at the time of my diagnosis, what I did know is that this disease did not run in my family. And like many, I asked questions like how, where, and why. But sadly, I didn't get any answers. As a matter of fact, I was told that there was nothing that I could do to help myself. And this fueled my fire to fight. I started reflecting, trying to get answers. And I recalled working as a chemist in the pharmaceutical industry and seeing the words toxic and carcinogen listed on some of the chemical bottles that I was working with. I also remember the big formaldehyde craze that had us all hesitant about using nail polish. And remembering all of these things prompted me to clean my house. First thing I did was I got a box and I got rid of everything in my home, from makeup to skincare to personal care items and household items like cleaning solutions, plug-ins, aerosol sprays, and much more. Well, I was the girl who loved to smell good. And if the bottle was pretty, I bought it. If there was a big sale, I was the first in line. But never in a million years did I think breast cancer would happen to me. The second thing that I did was I purchased an omega juicer and a Vitamix. I knew that I had work to do. I needed to focus on helping myself fight this disease instead of fueling it. I needed to focus not only what I was putting on my body, but also what I was putting in my body. And that was the beginning of my life's work. But tonight's conversation is not about me and my journey. Instead, it's about the voices of countless number of women, especially Black women, who are no longer here to speak out loud. It's about the voice of the young woman who just got the news, it's cancer. It's about the little girl somewhere making a TikTok, a makeup tutorial TikTok, not knowing that her health may be impacted. It's about a son who is now figuring out how to navigate life without his father, because men can get breast cancer too. Tonight, I want to talk about the problem and hopefully leave you with something to think about when it comes to taking action, not just in October, but all year long. Breast cancer, Black breast cancer. It's an epidemic and it's a health crisis. I want to share some stats with you about the disparities in breast cancer. Did you know that young Black women are 2 times more likely to be diagnosed with breast cancer and 3 times more likely to die from this disease? And did you also know that Black women are 3 times more likely to be diagnosed with an aggressive form of breast cancer? And how about this? Did you know that Black women are 39% more likely for the cancer to return after experiencing the joys of ringing the bell? Did you know that Black women are 60% more likely to develop stage 4 metastatic disease? And Black women are 58% higher, have a higher rate of being diagnosed with de novo or stage 4 breast cancer when they're first diagnosed? And lastly, did you know that Black women are 41% more likely to die from breast cancer? And like me, many of us are asking the question, why? When we think about our health and breast cancer, it's a multifactorial disease. But let's talk about one of those contributing factors, and I like to call it the beauty and the beast. For over 30 years, there have not only been conversations about the need for safer products, but we've also seen mass production of cleaner and greener beauty products. But unfortunately, the focus was not inclusive of all women. Instead, the focus was on white women. Injustice. When we dive deeper into the beauty industry, Black women are the biggest spenders in the beauty industry. In fact, we spend 9 times more than any other race. And sadly, Black women have the highest toxic load. Injustice. Let's start with Black women's hair. For years, and even to this day, Black women have been discriminated against in the workplace and in public schools simply due to their hairstyles. In 2019, Dove conducted the Crown Research study that focused on women in the workplace, and both Black and non-Black. And what they found is that 80% of the Black women surveyed said they had to change their natural hair in order to fit in better with the corporate environment. And over 50% of Black women surveyed stated that they knew someone who was actually sent home from work simply because of their hairstyle. Injustice. This bias against Black women's hair, which by the way have been perceived as unprofessional, puts pressure on Black women, causing many of them to conform to the Western standard of beauty. Injustice. Black women were using products like chemical straighteners and relaxers to lessen the workplace burden. But little did they know, or still now do they even know, that many of these products contain toxic chemicals. Companies were even targeting products to Black women through their marketing campaigns. One very popular campaign showed little Black girls with straight hair on the boxes of perms. Yet the consumer didn't even know that some of these girls on these boxes never even had a perm. Furthermore, in 2018, a study reported that 84% of chemicals detected in hair care products marketed to Black women were not even listed on the label. Injustice. Unfortunately, these toxic ingredients are found everywhere in our hair care products, personal care products, even our household products. They are endocrine disrupting chemicals affecting our hormone system. Several studies have shown that Black women are overexposed and underprotected from these toxic chemicals. They're also showing that we're starting puberty at younger ages. We have higher rates of hormone-mediated problems. We experience preterm birth, uterine fibroids, and infertility. And the incident rates of breast cancer and endometrial cancer among Black women are on the rise. Let's take a look at parabens, a chemical ingredient used to preserve beauty products. A recent study conducted by researchers at City of Hope found that when Black breast cancer cells were exposed to parabens, they were rapidly growing in comparison to white breast cancer cells that were also exposed to parabens. Another study, the sister study, looked at sisters of women who were diagnosed with breast cancer that used hair dyes every 5 to 8 weeks over a 12-month period. And what they found in this study is that white women were 8% more likely to develop breast cancer. And sadly for Black women, they were 60% more likely to develop breast cancer. A study that came out just the other day revealed that 1.64% of women who never used hair straighteners would go on to develop uterine cancer by the age of 70. But for frequent users, that risk goes up to 4.05%. And what they found is more likely Black women would use hair straighteners. Studies have also shown that even small amounts of exposures over time puts us at a greater risk of breast cancer. This is unacceptable, and we need to take action and take action now. Now, some have stated that clean beauty is the key to reducing exposures. And while this is true, Black women are at a disadvantage. Clean beauty or clean Black beauty is somewhat of a foreign word in the Black community. Part of the reason is the lack of education. We don't know it's a problem. But thankfully, studies are now being conducted on Black women to bring more awareness to this problem. And conversations like this are happening now. Second, there are not enough clean Black products on the shelves for Black people. And for some products that are on the shelves, the labels are very misleading. For example, vegan does not mean the product is clean. And everything natural doesn't always mean it's safe. It was found that there's a 25 to 45% reduction of chemicals found in the body after simply switching to natural products. Third, when you look at the communities where the majority of Black people reside, what you will see is that these harmful products are easily accessible. There are beauty supply stores on what seems like every corner, but this is not the case for other groups. So there's a lack of access of even clean products that do exist. And lastly, affordability. Many of the products that do exist that are deemed as clean are just not affordable. Again, injustice. When we look at our exposures overall as women, the average woman uses 12 products daily and exposing themselves to 168 chemicals. And in a year, the average woman absorbs about 5 pounds of toxic chemicals. When we look at our laws, out of 80,000 synthetic chemicals, only 10% of the cosmetic ingredients have actually been evaluated for safety. And many of these are the endocrine disruptors, or what I call the carcinogens. 11 toxic chemicals, including mercury, formaldehyde, parabens, phthalates, or hair dye chemicals, are currently banned by the EU, also in California and in Maryland. But what about the other states? Major laws have not been passed until recently, since 1938. The laws that have been passed were in California, so shout out to California. You're taking the lead and taking the charge. With the Cosmetic, Fragrance, and Flavor Ingredient Right to Know Act has been passed. The Toxic Free Cosmetic Act has also been passed, which bans 24 of the most worst toxic chemicals. And recently, the PFAS Free Beauty Act, where California banned PFAS chemicals from cosmetics sold in California, as well as PFAS chemicals found in textiles that are sold in California. While we have made great strides, we have so much more work to do. And I want to leave you with this. Women are dying. Black women are dying. And each one of us have a role to play, both collectively and individually, in addressing this health crisis. Now I say to you, now that you're aware, what are you going to do to take action? Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Tiah, so much. Such a powerful and relevant message that is coming across. Part of our campaign has been, to educate, to move away from awareness. We know it's not enough. Action is so critical. So thank you for all that you are doing, and thank you for bringing this work and this message to our community of activists so we can join with you and continue our work forward and stop hearing the words, "You have breast cancer." Thank you, Tiah. We so appreciate you. Now, community, listen up. Start posting your questions. Tiah is so gracious. She's going to stick around with us for about 5 or 10 minutes for a Q&A session. So if you have a question or a comment to share with Tiah, please drop it in the chat. We want to hear from you. It's your time to ask questions. And as our questions start to come in, Tiah, thank you. And our first question is, what are some ways or strategies that we can reduce environmental toxins and exposures?
Yeah. So one of the ways that we can reduce our exposures, I always tell people, is first and foremost, start with the products that touch most of your skin and research those ingredients. Take the top 10 things that you use on a daily basis and use some of the apps that are out there. There's Think Dirty, there's Clearia. More recently, as of I think it was today, that a new list was actually released called the non-toxic list for Black-owned businesses for products for Black people. But go through the products that you use on a regular basis and really start looking at the ingredients in them and find out, are they, do you want to chuck them? Do you want to keep them? I always also tell people that look for products that say paraben-free or fragrance-free on the label. Another thing is reduce your frequency of use. During the pandemic, a lot of us stopped wearing makeup, right? Because we were at home, but then of course we're back to doing that. So I say, reduce the amount of usage for those products. And you don't have to run out, because I know it can be very costly and just replace everything right now. But once the product actually is finished, go ahead and replace it with something that's more clean. And even consider, doing some DIYs. So I would say those are definitely ways that you can limit your exposures to these harmful ingredients.
Wow, thank you, Tiah. That's so helpful. Have you found it helpful too to share this message on social media? Call out these products and these companies that are putting such harmful toxin ingredients into our clothes and into our products.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I think that's important. We definitely have to get involved and we have to spread awareness. We can't keep this information for ourselves. Really get out there and share it with other people, because they don't know how they're harming themselves. And then we also have to look at, how we're voting. Are the people that, who are running for office, are they really on the side of making sure that we are safe and that we're not using these harmful chemicals? There are bills that they're looking to pass. I know there's with breast cancer prevention partners, they're looking to get some bills passed. And so we need to really talk to our legislators. Yes, they've made some strides in California, but what about your state? What about the PFAS? That's one of the worst chemicals. The formaldehyde, the parabens, the mercury, all of those things are really harmful to us. So we really need to get involved. And then when it comes to even our hairstylists or barbers, the salon workers, many of them are not even aware. And so we should be having conversations with them as well, bringing light to these problems. When you go, read the products that they're using, read the labels on the products that they're using for you, or take your own products. So I would say those are definitely some ways that we can not only limit our exposures, but help get the word out.
Thank you, Tiah. And you heard that, BC Action community. This is a great group. You know how to write your legislators and raise your voice. We've been doing it for 32 years and we are committed and we will not stop until we address and end breast cancer. Thank you, Tiah. So our next question, and again, BC Action community, if you have a question or a comment for Tiah, please drop it in the chat and I will read it and Tiah will be happy to respond to your question. And our second question, Tiah, how do we know what to look for when it comes to assessing our products and clothes? So we've already kind of touched into this and we've kind of addressed this space too. And I really appreciate you speaking to some of those steps, those actionable steps, because again, we know so often in October in the pink culture, we speak way too much to awareness. And we know awareness isn't going to stop breast cancer. It's not going to assist in that space to end this terrible disease. So thank you for, I think, responding to a lot to that question. And we're getting some more questions coming in. So we'll move to a different question.
Okay.
So Tiah, what are some actionable steps we can take to continue to address these environmental exposures? And I know, again, you've kind of already touched in on this, but anything else that's come to mind that we can share tonight with this community of activists?
Yeah, I would say, get connected to some of the small grassroots organizations that's doing the work. You all are doing the work. Breast Cancer Action, My Style Matters is doing the work. Bench to Community is doing the work. Really get plugged into those organizations that are out here doing the work. We don't need to duplicate effort. We need to support the efforts that are already going forth. And I think that's something that's just really important to help elevate the voices of the millions of people who are being impacted by this disease. And so once we get plugged in, we can really affect change.
That is for sure. Thank you, Tiah, so much. And I'm just getting, again, some really strong and excited comments from our community who's joined us tonight in this virtual event. They're just sending their gratitude and their deep appreciation to you, Tiah. Thank you for your time. And we so appreciate you. And we know together this is a significant new partnership and collaboration that we have now entered into. And I am confident that together, like always, with these types of collaborations and partnerships, we will continue to address and end breast cancer. So Tiah, thank you so much from all of us, from BC Action staff and community and board members. We just want to say thank you. And again, we so applaud you you are an inspiration to me and to the work that I'm doing. And I am seeing that in the chat that you are such an inspiration to all of us, and collectively and collaboratively, we will continue to join together and end this terrible crisis. Thank you, Tiah.
Thank you. Take care.
Take care. Thank you. Wow. So what do you think? I want to hear your comments. Just drop your comments and your thoughts, please, into that chat box, and I will read them out loud and continue to share this with our community as we continue on with tonight's program. So I've said it over and over again, and I hope that the team who has put together this evening for you, that you as our community activists are getting our message, that you are our hearts, you are our reasons, you're the reason our vital work is loud, why it's fierce, and why our work at BC Action is transformational. As we know it is time, as we have known for way too long, it's time to stop hearing the words, "You have breast cancer." It impacts too many lives. It steals too many memories, and it diminishes our quality life and well-being. And we together, like we have for 32 years, I'm confident that together we will continue to address this terrible disease and take action to end breast cancer. And because of you, our work and our mission and our purpose will continue to go forward. And I'm confident one day, even more successes and achievements will happen together. So as you know, our work isn't just about tonight. Most of you and many of you who have joined us in tonight's event have been with us for years, and in some cases, decades. You've showed up, you've raised your voice, you've donated your time and talent to this critical and transformational work. And we are thankful for your continued and unyielding support for the work that we are continuing to do now, and for the vision and the goals that we have as we look forward. As you know, tonight's donations, 100% of these donations goes towards our work. And you can continue to take action by going to the live auction, by continuing to bid, by continuing to support each other over here in the chat. It's so fun to see your messages to and for each other. This is what it's about. We are together, and this togetherness of this fierce community of actions is fantastic. And our work will go way beyond tonight. It's year round. We encourage you to recruit more people and organizations who align with our BC Action values with their time, talent, and or dollars. As you know, BC Action has never and will never compromise our values by engaging with or accepting time or dollars from people or organizations who promote or profit off breast cancer. So donate your time, donate your talent, donate your dollars to this significant and relevant mission, because you can forever know that your dollars and your time and your efforts are going to promote what is best for people's health and well-being. You can forever donate your time and talent, knowing this donation will support our vital work to achieve health justice for everyone at risk and living with breast cancer. So thank you for your unyielding support, time, and talent. Thank you. Moving on, many of you all know Jayla. Jayla is our program manager, and we so appreciate all of her work and all of her time and all of her love that she has poured into this great mission. Many of you know, but if you do not know, Jayla has a new and exciting role and season of her life ahead of her. As of November, she'll be transitioning away from our organization and taking her time and fantastic talent and heart to a different organization. So at this time, on behalf of Dr. Redmond, the entire BC Action staff team, the board of directors, myself, and all of you who I know have had the pleasure of working alongside Jayla for these last several years, we will say this, Jayla, thank you. We love you. We will miss you and your fantastic contribution to our work, but we will also champion you always and forever as you start this new role and continue on in new achievements as you go forward in this next season of your life. So thank you, Jayla. Mwah. Now, it is my pleasure to welcome and introduce Halima, our new program manager, who will share with you our exciting look back on 20 years of transformational action through our radical Think Before You Pink campaigns. Halima brings several years of work in the social sector, and her ability to complete insightful yet empathetic mixed method social science research to our team will continue to push forward this critical work that we do at Breast Cancer Action. Welcome, Halima. We're thrilled to have you on our team.
Thank you so much, Heather. Hello, everybody. My name is Halima, and I'm so honored to be here. And I'm really excited to share this dynamic look back on Breast Cancer Action's 20 years of activism and collective action taking. Please enjoy this exciting video as we celebrate 20 years of Think Before You Pink.
Breast Cancer Action is an organization for people who want to make a difference. Over the years, along with our fearless community of activists, we've called for meaningful, often radical systemic changes in policies, practices, and institutions in order to address and end the breast cancer crisis. Breast cancer is a public health crisis that has ballooned into a bloated, multi-billion-dollar industry, and it utilizes one of the most successful marketing ploys of the century. The pink ribbon is the most widely recognized symbol for breast cancer, but historically, there's been a significant lack of accountability, a glaring absence of transparency, and widespread hypocrisy in pink ribbon marketing. These problems within pink ribbon culture allow for the exploitation of breast cancer patients and a disease that devastates communities. It uses marketing that misrepresents who is affected by breast cancer and excludes and marginalizes the diverse lived experiences of those dealing with the disease. Our radical disruption takes the form of our annual Think Before You Pink campaign, launched 20 years ago as a response to the growing concern about the number of pink ribbon products on the market. From its inception, the campaign has called for transparency and accountability from companies taking part in breast cancer fundraising and awareness campaigns. We encourage consumers to ask 4 critical questions about pink ribbon promotions. Over the last 2 decades, we've had outsized wins.
Breast Cancer Action.
Breast Cancer Action.
Organizations like Breast Cancer Action.
Breast Cancer Action.
Breast Cancer Action.
Breast Cancer Action.
We support Breast Cancer Action.
And we've been critical always of egregious pink marketing schemes.
It is what it is.
We've pushed back on corporations, mega nonprofits, government leaders, and regulatory agencies that use pink ribbons and encourage empty awareness to distract from the systemic issues at the core of this crisis. In 2002, with our first ever Think Before You Pink campaign, Who's Really Cleaning Up?, we pressured Eureka and American Express to stop cause marketing. We called out their ribbon promotions that did more for company profits than for the breast cancer cause. It was at that time we coined the term pinkwashing. This defines the act of a company or organization claiming to care about breast cancer by promoting a pink ribbon product while simultaneously producing, manufacturing, and/or selling products containing chemicals linked to the disease. In 2008, our campaign Put a Lid on It targeted General Mills and resulted in the removal of RBGH, a synthetic growth hormone linked to breast cancer, from 2/3 of America's dairy products. In 2010, our members sent thousands of letters outraged at the health hypocrisy of Buckets for the Cure, a pink partnership between Kentucky Fried Chicken and Susan G. Komen. Public outcry forced an early end to their October fiasco. In 2014, in response to a partnership between Susan G. Komen and oil field services company Baker Hughes that created pink fracking drill bits for the cure, we called out the most egregious example of pinkwashing we had ever seen. We delivered a petition signed by over 160,000 activists demanding the nation's largest breast cancer charity break ties with the fracking industry and take a stand against this toxic process. In 2018, we called out the Ford Motor Company for driving up the risk of breast cancer by continuing to focus on and build cars that produce cancer-causing emissions, all while pinkwashing these efforts by touting their commitment to fighting breast cancer through their Warriors in Pink program. In 2020, our campaign extended beyond corporations to pink policies and called out the federal administration, from the president down to agency leaders, for failing to take on the breast cancer crisis. Pink policies are political pinkwashing in action. These are policies or a lack of policies that fail to protect people living with breast cancer and increase breast cancer risk for all people, especially for women, people of color, and low-income folks. And in 2021, we called out Susan G. Komen and Bank of America for their pink ribbon banking programs, credit card and debit cards. Our campaign was laser focused on its message. Susan G. Komen cannot continue to promote themselves as advocates for people with breast cancer while partnering with a major fossil fuel funder, given the undeniable links between the fossil fuel continuum and breast cancer risk. So what have we learned over the last 20 years? As the first breast cancer organization to call out cause marketing, we've been on the front lines as late-stage capitalism has produced a pink ribbon mega industry that has invaded the very systems that are meant to keep us safe and healthy. It has normalized the commodification of social issues that impact real lives every day. What can you do about it? Join us in calling out the bad actors who continue to spread misinformation about breast cancer, who manufacture products that actually increase a person's risk for the disease, who work to lower regulatory standards, and much more, all while raising millions to feed their own bottom line. You can learn more about starting your own campaign to help disrupt deceptive cause marketing strategies. You can take action with our 2022 campaign, A Revolution, which connects the dots across decades of pink ribbon marketing. You can download our newly updated Think Before You Pink toolkit, and you can stay up to date on legislation that impacts the breast cancer community. Thank you to everyone for being part of our community of bold and compassionate breast cancer activists.
BC Action, 20 powerful years of action through our Think Before You Pink campaigns. Look at the achievements. Look how far we've come. I know we have a long way to go, but together, as we continue this work together, we will end this terrible breast cancer crisis. So again, tonight's about raising your voice. We want to hear from you. Because of you, this work continues. 20 years of Think Before You Pink campaigns, 32 years of this mission, and now we're here tonight, looking forward to how we will continue to take collective action, not only in this year's campaign and tonight's event, but year-round. So please drop in the chat, type it in, share it with your community. Which campaign over the past 19 years resonated most with you? Drop it in that chat. Share your idea, raise your voice. In addition, please share with us, why did you connect with BC Action's mission? What connected you to this significant and relevant and critical work? And just so you know, community, first person who responds to this question will be mailed a BC Action t-shirt. We want to have that gear on, wear it proud, raise our voice, spread the word. So thank you, Stacy. Woo! Stacy, one of our current board members. She is the first to respond to our question of which campaign resonates most with you. Stacy says, as you can read in the chat, super hypocritical ones are easy to describe. The chicken, the drill bits. Yes, how ridiculous that these companies can continue to profit and put profit over people. It must stop. Oh, we've got another one. Zoe says, what the cluck campaign? Lupa says, put the brakes on breast cancer campaign. Katie Simon, drill bits just shocked her. And Tibby lifts up to us. I have a soft spot in my heart for We Can't Be Pinked campaign. Thank you, community. Thank you. Well done, you. Take a moment. This work happens because of you. So thank you. Thank you. Next question, please drop it in the chat. And again, first person to respond to this next question, you too will be mailed a BC Action t-shirt. Question is, who do you think are the most egregious pinkwashers? Who do you think are the most egregious pinkwashers? Let's see, who's going to be the first? Who's going to receive a BC Action t-shirt? Drop your response in the chat, please. Share it with your community. Put a lid on it. Was the first campaign I ever saw. Thank you. We have a winner. Excellent. Congress. Komen. Yes. Susan G. Komen. Ford. Ugh. Thank you. Komen. Komen. Clear. Clear. Thank you for calling them out. Thank you for bringing all of that knowledge and understanding to people, and just stop that ridiculous behavior, those strategies that just, again, put profit and dollars in the wrong places, does nothing to help people, does nothing to stop the disparities, does nothing to stop the terribleness, the lack of access to support and care, and to end breast cancer. 20 years of Think Before You Pink campaigns. And this year's campaign, together in 2022, Think Before You Pink. A revolution, an evolution. So, Halima, with that, I'm going to pass it over to you to share with our community how we are going to collectively take action in this year's Think Before You Pink campaign. Thank you, Halima.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us, everyone. Now, I'd like to share our 2022 Unstoppable campaign. So our 2022 campaign is the Think Before You Pink, a Revolution. And the collective action for this year is, would like you to sign an open letter against capitalism. So if you just like scroll down, you're going to see a field where you're going to fill in your information and then just sign that. And after signing that, please share on your social media with the hashtag Think Before You Pink. So we're going to give everyone about 3 minutes to get through signing the open letter, and enjoy the music while that's going on.
Come on, H to the soul, B to the A. For shizzle, my nizzle, used to dribble down the VA. H-O-B-A. That's the dang anthem, get your dang hands up. H to the soul, B to the A. Still, I'm not guilty, y'all got to feel me. H-O-B-A. One more, y'all. Another verse. Yo, Greasy's back. Life story told through rap. Yeah. They acting like I sold you that. Like I told you to sell drugs. Grip did that. Hopefully you want to go through that. I was raised in the roaches and smokers out back. Selling their mama's sofa. Look outside the corner. Focused on the hair. Ladies in the window. Focused on the kinfolk. Me under a lamppost. Why I got my rocking my ball. Watching the law arms that you know I seen it all before. Who dreams to flake like a true feast? To try to fail. Success in this rap game. H-O-V. Please, please. Give it to me now. Give it to me now. Give it to me now. When I had you to myself, I didn't want you around. Those pretty faces always seem to stand out in the crowd. But someone picks you from the front, shows there's the summer too. Let's go, y'all. Now it's much too late for me to take a step away on this one. Yeah. Oh, don't you dare look back. Just keep your eyes on me. I say you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me. This woman is my destiny. She said, shut up and dance with me.
Thank you, BC Action Community. Together, we will continue our work to address and end breast cancer. Before our evening together closes, please remember to continue to take action by bidding. Bid on the auction now until Tuesday, October 25th. Please encourage your friends to bid on auction items. Again, 100% of the proceeds that we make tonight supports and advances our work here at BC Action. Donate continue. Without you, we couldn't do this work. We wouldn't have been able to make these achievements over the last 32 years. Donate your time, talent, and money to our mission. Tell your friends about our fierce and radical organization and how they too may join with us to take action with their time, talent, and/or money. BCA Action Community, we encourage you to stay logged in to enjoy more from tonight's musical entertainment, the Sly Band. And with that, on behalf of the entire BC Action team and board of directors, we want to thank our sponsors again. We want to thank all of you for your unyielding support and actions which support our work. It is our honor to work alongside you. You are the reason our work transforms lives, promotes health justice for all, and stops systems and strategies and companies who put profit over people's health and well-being. Thank you, BC Action community of fierce and radical activists. Thank you so much. Good night. Enjoy the Sly Band. Good night. Thank you.
This is a journey into sound.
Let's go to the beach, let's go get away. They say what they gonna say. Have a drink, clink, found a Bud Light. Bad chicks like me, it's hard to come by. The Patron, oh, let's go get it on. In the zone, oh, yes, I'm in the zone. Is it 2, 3? Leave a good tip. I'ma blow all my money and don't give a...
I'm on the fire. I love to dance. Give me some more, till I can't stand. Get on the fire. Like it's your last chance. You want some more, then here I am. Starships were meant to fly. Hands up and touch the sky. Can't stop 'cause we're so high. Let's do this. We're higher than the mother. We're higher than the mother.
Something more than we can do. Come on, dance, dance, dance. Yeah. All these things just creeping up, but you dance, dance, dance. Yeah. And all these things I shouldn't do when you dance, dance, dance. Yeah. And I ain't leaving nobody, so just keep dancing. Tell them, hey, I want all of you tonight. Give me everything tonight. Give me everything tonight. Give me everything
I
tonight.
assume that I need no introduction. Maybe I do, so here goes nothing. It's your boy in a commercial floor. Many a call, but I'm one of the few to be chose. Catch your dudes asking what happened. Your career's 2001, John Madden. Hot sauce of this thing is us. Textbook definition of this game is us. Richie Miller won the teams in clutch. A freestyle very little, but a writer is such.
What we gonna do right here is go back. Way back. Back into time.
At last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over, and life is like a song. Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry. Ooh, baby, here I am, signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. Here I am, baby. Ooh, I got my future in yours. Hey, here I am, baby. Oh, I got my future in yours. Oh, done a lot of foolish things that I really didn't mean. Hey, I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I wanna dance with somebody. Oh, I wanna dance with somebody. I wanna feel the heat with somebody. Yeah, I wanna dance with somebody. With somebody who loves me.
That it's just like the ocean under the moon. Well, it's the same as the emotion that I get from you. You got the kind of love that make me so smooth out. Give me your heart, make it real, or let's forget about it.
Man, I'm back. We back. Sean's back. Mo's back. Get up off of that thing. Dance till you feel better. Get up off of that thing. It's time to release some pressure. Get up off of that thing. Dance till you feel better. Uptown, funk you up. Uptown, funk you up. Say it, y'all.
Don't believe me, just watch. Hey, 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 oh! Uptown funk you up, uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up, uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up, uptown funk you up. Uptown funk you up, uptown funk you up.